Hello viewers, I am Ridwan Ibrahim and I welcome you to another episode of Staad Pro. In this episode, we will proceed with the connection for the steel structure, which will be using the RAM connection of Staad Pro. In our previous videos, we've made a connection for the base plate of the column. We also made a connection for the beam, column and brace. We also have a connection for all of the braces. And for today, we will be making a connection for the column splice. Alright, so let's go to RAM connection and then just click on close. Now I am going to select this particular column and then this other top column. Then I can go to basic connection. Let me use the BS. I like using BS for the splice. And then I will use this one. This is the column splice. This will be connected at the flange. Alright, so click on the flange and then take this away, click on OK. So the connection has been made, but the status is warning. Just click on OK. You can see the splice is is available over here. Then you can just double click on it so that we can go into the macro. Now without even checking the results while this is filling, obviously I think we can just make some adjustment before we go in. First of all, you can see that the width of the plate is even larger than the width of the column. Look at the plate is too large. Alright, so we can do that. Also the column, also the bolts, if you look at the bolts, you see the bolt is not doing well. The bolt should move in a little bit more. So let's make that kind of adjustments. Now number of rows, I have 3 numbers. You can see I have 3 rows, 1 2 3, so that's not a problem. And then the gauge transverse distance. Now when you're talking about column, obviously a column is a vertical member, so the length, the height, this particular height, the vertical height, that is the longitudinal distance, whereas the width, that is the transverse distance, and the inverse is what you have in the beam. Okay, I want to edit the width of the plate. All right, so let's see how we can do that. Look at this. We have the vertical end distance and we have the horizontal end distance. All right, so let me change this. I will change it. Let me change it to, let's say 30. Okay, now you will see nothing has changed. Of course, nothing has changed. It has not changed because the bottom plate and the top plate, they are the same thing. So if I change something in the top plate, I have to go and make that same change in the bottom plate. So now I've changed the horizontal end distance, which is the width, to 30 for the top side. I also have to do the same thing for the bottom side. So look at the horizontal edge distance here. Let me change it to 30, the same value, and then you see that the changes has been made. Now let me adjust the spacing of the bolt. The bolt should go in a bit. You can see it is not doing properly. So come here, you can go to the transverse. You can see this transverse. So the transverse, let me change the transverse to, let's say, 50. Alright, so that has not moved unless you move the bottom one too. So let me change the transverse of this one to 50. Okay, then it has moved in, and then when it moved, the plates also moved with it. So I think this is good enough. Is it? I think it's good enough. However, I think I should adjust the size of the bolt. The bolt is too much. This is M20, right? Let me just change it to M16. All right, okay, so I think it is fitting perfectly now. So if you see this, at least there's a space in between here and there's a space in between here, but still we can see the status is still warning. So now we can check the result. At least we've made a reasonable change, so we just need to see what is wrong. So go to results, and then we have some things that are failing here. First of all, let's check this. It says the transverse edge distance. For the transverse edge distance, what we have is 20. Okay, and the minimum value should be 22.5 for the transverse edge distance. That is the horizontal distance. So let's go change that to 22.5. Let me close that. We still have more, but let's be changing them one by one. So where is it? For the bottom plate, this is the horizontal, which is the transverse. So it says the minimum should be 22.5. So let me just use the minimum value. Alright, and then let's do the same thing for the top. Where is it? This is the horizontal distance. That should be 22.5. Alright, so we still have more to do, so we don't expect it to change right now. Click on results. Now obviously that should have changed. You see transverse edge distance, you can see that is now marked. Okay, so that is good. Okay, so we still have two more. Let's see transverse edge distance for the column. There is no such thing here, transverse edge distance for the column. Of course there's transverse edge distance for the bolt and for the plate, but nothing for the column. There's no such thing there. At times you have some parameters, for example this, that you did not input the value for it. You see something like 19.35. This is what we have. Nobody inserted this. Okay, so but there's something that gave birth to it, and you have to confirm what gave birth to it. So when you know what gave birth to it, then you can know what to edit. Okay, so let me just click on view formula so that I can see what gave birth to it. So let's just scroll. Yeah, this is it here. So you can see the transverse edge distance, it says false. Now let's see what give birth to it. The minimum value is equal to 1.25 multiplied by the thickness of that's the column, right? So that's 1.25d. So 1.25 multiplied by 18, that gave them to be 22.5. okay, so this is the minimum value I can have. So that tells me that my column has a lesser thickness to 18. Maybe it is 16 or it is 15. I don't have it offhand. So what I can do is I have to change the section of the column, and then I will change it to one that has 18, or one that has something more than 18. So let me close that, and then I can go back to let me go to the main data here, and then my column, let me change the column here. You can see what I have is 16. You can see it is 16. Look at it, 152 by 89 by 16. Okay, so it has to be 18 at least. 18 at least. So but I don't have any other 152 by 89. Let me check another code. United States. No, I don't even want to use this. Okay, yeah, this is what I had, 152 by 89 by 16. All right, so I have to increase it to something that has a greater width. Look at this one. This is 19. So I'll be changing the section from 152 by 89 by 16. I'll be changing it to 178 by 102 by 19. Okay, so let me click on OK. Now this will give a kind of failure, because I have to do the same thing for the the bottom column too. So let me change to the same section, then let me click on OK. Now I've changed that, and then you can now see the status. The status is now green. Okay, the status is now green. So now we have our column splice, and then it is passing. So you can just click on save. All right, you can check your DXF, of course. Just go through everything. All right, so that is the end of that. If you find this video useful, kindly give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.